We are joined by the hardest working man here today. Herm, I've seen you. You're like a ping pong ball. They've got you going from table to table to table. How many interviews have you already done today?
Oh, I started this morning at 5:30, actually.
Oh, you haven't stopped, have you?
Hotel, yeah. You know, that's okay. It's Super Bowl week. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoy it. You know, I'm a kind of energetic guy anyway. So anytime you can talk about this great game of football, it's always fun.
All right, we have to start with the least fun topic because we like to get him out of the way. What would you say to Johnny Manziel right now if you were in his ear?
Well, I think we've all witnessed this happen, and it starts with his father and his parents. Children can't choose their parents, and I think if you're a parent of Johnny Manziel, you along with whatever people or person you need to help him fight what he's dealing with, and he's got an addiction problem. And we know that. He probably had it early in a young age, and he was able to fight it and able to continue to play football at a high level. But now it's catching up to him, and he's crying out for help, and I think he needs some help. And for me, if he's out of football for a whole year, that's okay. That's all right. I mean, it's because you want him to get his life in order. He was a fantastic high school and college football player.
Right.
We enjoyed the way this guy competed, his enjoyment, his enthusiasm for football. Now we've watched him right now, his life kind of spin out of control. And it's sad because I've always said this, you know, talent is a gift and you don't want to waste it. And right now it's being wasted in the fact that he can't get his life in order off the field.
We've wondered if another NFL team would give him a shot, but should he walk away for the year and get...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a scenario that I think if Cleveland releases him and does somebody pick him up, and if they do they give him the ability to go away for a year and try to get his life in order? And I think if he can do that, then he has a chance. But right now, he doesn't have a chance. And and it's sad because we're a big fraternity. When you're a football player or a football coach, it's a big fraternity, and you hate to see guys all of a sudden their career ends up looking like this, and it has nothing to do with football.
Joined by the coach, Herm Edwards, right here on Radio Row, 104.5 The Team. All right, let's move on to more fun stuff.
Yeah.
Football back in Los Angeles. How important is that?
Well, 20 years has been gone, and I can remember growing up. I grew up here on the West Coast, and the Rams were there, and I actually played for the Rams toward the end of my career when they were in Los Angeles. And they were in Anaheim then. They went to Anaheim. But it's good. I mean, it's good for us to get a team back in California. We're going to get two.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about the stadium that's being built.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be $2.6 billion. That's a lot of money. I want to see this. And I see some renditions of it, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, each stadium seems to go to a new level.
I mean, Jerry's World is a wow.
Yeah.
This one's even going to be a more wow. It's like, really?
But Coach, in the middle of all this, where are the Raiders going to end up playing? Like, that's the thing that, we know now they're going to play one game in Mexico City, but what are they?
Sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because I grew up on the West Coast and was a Dallas Cowboy fan and a Raider fan growing up, to be quite honest, and knew Mr. Davis from my college days. And it's a shame because, to me, the Raiders they're an Oakland team. That's the Raiders, man.
Yeah.
Okay? But our state of California, they don't help them out. I mean, they don't, they're not going to use tax money to build stadiums. And the Raiders financially don't have enough money. The NFL is going to give them some money. And it's sad. I mean, this is the NFL. I mean, it's only 32 teams, and I wish we could find a way to keep them here. I don't know what they're going to do. But when you have an organization like that, the City Flux, they don't know where they're going to play. They're signing a one-year lease. It's hard on everybody. It's hard on players. It's hard on the organization. It's hard on the fans.
Right.
So it's just, this is a young team, too, that's going to be a good football team. They've got some cornerstones now. When you think about Mack and you think about quarterback Carr and
Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, so I hope they can figure it out and get these guys. I know this, and Mr. Davis had a problem with this. He doesn't want to share a 49er stadium.
No.
And in a way, I get that. I do. I get that. These are the Raiders, man.
Yeah.
They got a different fan base.
Yeah.
When the Raiders are significant, it's good for football.
Right.
Whether you like them or not.
Right.
It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys are the same way.
Yeah.
When they're in it, it kind of makes football better.
Hey, look, I agree 100%.
Okay, well, I'm preaching to the choir.
In this Super Bowl 50, it appears that the one spot the Broncos have a clear advantage is wide receivers against Carolina's secondary.
Yeah.
If Peyton gets enough time to throw, which is the question, can he exploit that secondary?
Well, I think he can. I think they're going to go at the slot with Finnegan, Cortland Finnegan, with Demaryius Thomas and obviously Sanders. They got to find a way to attack that position. And if they do and they has enough time, they can do it. They got to run the ball and establish that to keep the pressure off him. And they've got to keep the pocket clean for Peyton because he has no longer the ability of making big throws with his arm. He's got to use his legs. And when the pocket's cluttered, you can see he throws a lot of soft balls out there. So if they can do that and attack the slot, hey, they got a shot.
We had Mark Schlereth on,
yeah,
and he said that the strength of the Carolina team, their defensive line is the middle,
yeah,
and that Denver's offensive line in the middle is not that bad. And same with Jeff Schwartz. Do you see that? Is the mismatch not that bad because of the strengths?
Yeah, I do, and I think if you're Peyton Manning and those guys, you got to solidify the run. You got to, and Coach Kubiak's going to do that. They're going to run it whether it's pretty or not. They're going to try to 32 attempts. And when you do that, I think the thing you realize is you keep the ball away from Carolina's offense.
Right.
They methodically grind you down. In these two playoff games, they've averaged 37 minutes of possession time. And so if you're Denver, you want possession time as well because you want your defense rested as much as you can. Because you got your own issues dealing with Cam Newton.
Right.
Carolina starts off in the first half fast every week in the playoffs.
Yeah, they do.
How does Denver withstand that first barrage?
Well, hopefully they get the ball. And you can go on one of those long, methodical drives. And it's critical for them, third down. They got to get Cam in 3rd and 7 or more. That's where they struggle. So first down is critical. And I think if you're Carolina, you run the ball early with Cam. You run it. You run the power. You run the zone read with him early. Get him involved in the game. Because most quarterbacks in this game, the ones I've witnessed, even the ones I've played in, because of the anxiety level, balls are high. There's a lot of high balls, man, out of his hand because of the anxiety of it. There's a lot of missed throws, and that's what happens in these games early. You can get blown out. We got blown out against that Hatcher wearing that Reuther early. We turned the ball over. We gave up some big plays on defense. Before you know it, we're down, a couple scores. So I just think if both teams can settle down, I think the way you keep Cam settled down is obviously you run it. And then I think if you're also the offense with Cam Newton, the big thing that Denver struggles with is the tight end. They were 23rd covering the tight end in the National Football League. And Olsen is a good player. They got to make sure they get that seam taken care of with Olsen because if not, when they run that read option, he's going to pull it out. He's going to get Olsen down the seam.
Herm Edwards joins us right here on 104.5 The Team on Radio Row. And all right, Coach, what happens? How's this game play out? Who wins it?
Well, it's real simple. Just do it this way, and you guys can figure it out. Ron Rivera grew up 7 miles down the road from me. Where he lives on the peninsula, and I've known Ron for a long time, and so I don't have to tell you who's going to win it.
Yeah, I think I figured it out.
Herm, we are your home for New York Jets football. What should the Jets do at quarterback? Should they go after Ryan Fitzpatrick again on a short deal? Should they look at Colin Kaepernick because he apparently wants to be there?
Yeah, you know what? I'm surprised at Colin. I really am, and I think this is where egos get involved. That he might be mad at the organization, but I wouldn't be so mad getting Chip Kelly there as a coach.
Right?
Yeah.
But, hey, every guy's got to do what he's got to do. I know this. Wherever he goes, he's going to have to put in the work, in the preparation. He can no longer live off his talent. Cam Newton, Russell Wilson are prime examples of that.
Yeah.
When they came in the league, they were not volume passers. They were 25 attempts a game. Let's just keep it going. Now, you can give them the ball. You can put them in the pocket. They can throw it. They can run it. Kaepernick's going to have to do that. He's going to have to continue to understand that he's going to have to play from the pocket some, but more than anything else, accuracy. He has to be accurate. And if he can do that, he's going to have a chance.
Coach Herm Edwards, now you are one of the biggest stars here. Is there anybody that you still look at and go, oh, and get a little starstruck? Does that ever happen to you anymore?
You know what? I've never been big on that. I think everybody's a star in their own right. I think if you carry yourself with humility and you're about helping people and just be a person of integrity, that's the people that I really enjoy being around and that I really praise. I think if that's the type of attitude you got to have in our world today, is be a person of integrity where your words and your life match up. And if you do that, people respect you.
Gotta love it. Herm Edwards, thank you so much for your time. I know they're running you ragged, but always great to have you on 104.5 The Team. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.